Hey guys, uh, how's it going? This here giving my quick raw thoughts on what happened on Raw last night. Um, Overall the show, eh, I mean there's some good stuff to it. There's some stuff I didn't agree with, so I'm just gonna go over most of what happened quickly. Jericho comes out first segment of the night and does this awesome promo. I must say that was a good promo. Um, on how he got beat by Michaels and he sewed off his scars and bruises and stuff, and um, but really acts like what did Michaels really accomplish, because it was a match that really didn't really happen because it was not, you know, sanctioned, you know, as a match, which is great, because he because that could lead into the feud continuing. I don't know where they don't take it now, considering Jericho's the champion now, but maybe Michaels will come back after he heals up a little bit more, and we'll have a title match between them two if um if Jericho's still champion, and I'll get to that in a second. Um, and then he brags how he won the title, and then Adam Lee comes out and says, Punk didn't really have an opportunity to defend his title, so next week on Raw we don't have a steel cage match between CM Punk and Jericho. I don't want to get the whole cage match idea. I don't know where that came from, but whatever works. It's different. Than just a regular match, but I think even if it was a regular match, I wouldn't mind either way. Um, a good match. Hopefully it will be. So, but then, so Jericho's like, okay, that's fine. I beat Punk before, and I'll beat him again. Well, then Emily's like, well, that's next week. So this week you got to face Batista. Um, Jericho didn't really like that, but that's how it was. So we had Jericho and Batista later on that night. I'll get to that in a second. Um, then we had a number one contendership for the women's title. Beth Phoenix versus Mickey James. Candice Michelle was at ringside. I don't know why Candice Michelle always gets a chair to sit in. She had one at SummerSlam '07 too, but Beth Phoenix. It was excuse me. It wasn't a number one contendership. It was Beth Phoenix versus Mickey James for the title. I'm sorry. Um, Beth Phoenix won, so now we're getting Candice and Beth Phoenix at No Mercy again, just like last year. I forget how good or how bad that match last year was. I think it was alright if I remember, but we'll just see how that goes, because Candice has been out for a while, and for a while she was improving, but who knows how she is now. She had a match last week on Raw, but that didn't really show too much. Um, and then Jamie Noble and Layla came out, and Jamie Noble faced William Regal backstage. Jamie Noble it's so funny in my book, because he said if Noble won, him and Layla were going to go to Olive Garden. If you didn't know, Justin Credible works at a Olive Garden in Connecticut, so I don't know if that's stemming from that or it was just but it was just hilarious. Um, Regal beat Noble, and then afterwards with Layla at ringside, Regal went over to Layla and she locked arms with him, and they started walking away. I don't know where they're going with this. I'm thinking that Layla will probably be with Regal now, because they both are I think Layla is British. I'm not really quite. She has that accent of hers that really is like a British accent, so that would probably work out perfectly. But um, Jamie Noble again loses it with women, but that's nothing new. Let's see here. And then from that, we go from the most hilarious thing I thought happened on the show. JBL was facing Charlie Haas, but it wasn't Charlie Haas. It was CHL. Charlie Haas Layfield. Oh my god, another one of Charlie Haas's gimmicks that he does. This one was hilarious. This was out past and Carlito the week before. It was just hilarious. And then JBO just looked so disgusted. He just walked out of the match. The guy counted it out. That was just so hilarious. If you haven't seen it, look it up because it was definitely a moment. I was dying laughing. The next match I really had a problem with. Yeah, you had The Miz and Morrison versus Mysterio and Evan Bourne. Like I said last week, ECW needs to stay on its own show. All the brands need to stay on their own show. It wasn't a bad match. Don't get me wrong. It wasn't a bad. It was a great match. You know, with a lot of high flying stuff. But I mean, I'm really getting tired of this, and I'm not the only one that's feeling this way either. But I just really wish that they would just stick to the brands. Mysterio and Evan Bourne won. Then afterwards, Kane came on the Titantron and was like, next week, I guess Kane and Mysterio will face each other. They should hold this off to No Mercy, but whatever. And Kane was holding up his mask, so whatever that means. It was supposed to be a hint to Mysterio, but whatever that means. And then Orton comes out, does his talking. His mic didn't work at first, which I thought was funny, but then how he took Punk out, and then Priceless and Manu, I think that's what Alpha Junior is being called. Then he came out, and Priceless was like, "We did all the work. What are you talking about?" And blah 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 blah. And then Orton all of a sudden slaps DiBiase, then gets out of there. So who knows what's that? You know, I hear it's supposed to be Evolution, type stable soon, but who knows how that's gonna happen. It could be good, but And then we had Manu and Priceless take on Kofi Kingston and Crime Time. It was an alright 6-man. Manu looked okay in the ring. He's alright. I need to see a bit more, but it was just your standard 6-man tag. Nothing really too special about it. So moving on from that. And then Santino faced Snitsky. Santino was in week 3 of the Honky Donkey Man. Santino's awesome. Santino quicker got a roll up victory and on Snitsky, and his reign continues. So that's awesome as well. And then we came to the main event: Batista versus JBL. Not JBL. Jericho. I'm sorry. Jericho fell to the outside, and it looked like he appeared to be really hurt. Adam Lee comes out and says, "Stop the match. I failed to overlook Jericho's condition following last night, so I'm making this to a handicap match with JBL involved." JBL comes out. Then eventually Lance Cade came out too and had to get involved, and Bradshaw hit the clothesline from hell on Batista, and they won. I really don't understand this whole thing with Jericho. I just came out of the blue, but I mean, I'm hoping CM Punk gets the title back next week, but I won't hold my breath. They might have a match next week, then have a match at No Mercy, but we'll just go and see what happens. So that was just my quick little overview of what happened on Raw. I may be back Wednesday to do one for ECW, but I'm not really quite sure. I may do one on news tomorrow if I get a chance, that is. So until then, I'm out, and I'll talk to you later.